Hello there. Just thought I'd mention a very interesting thing that's been happening over the last few days. Now, as we know, in the southern hemisphere, they're going into their spring, while here in the northern hemisphere, we go into the depths of autumn. And over the last few days, they've had freezing cold conditions down there in Australia and New Zealand. And it's been so cold that they've even had snow down to sea level, and the coastline has been blanketed in snow. Now, if people like myself wouldn't mention these things, I'm just wondering how many people would actually realise that this is going on, because a lot of predictions were made maybe 15, 20 years ago by certain people like Al Gore. Yeah, within the next few years, snow's going to be a thing of the past. The ice at the North and the South Poles are going to melt, and we're going to be ice free in the North Pole at 2013, 2014. Well, how do we hold these people accountable for these false predictions? That time and threshold has now come and gone. We've still got loads of ice in the North Pole, and apparently we're getting snow out of season in Australia and New Zealand in their spring, and not just only over high ground, but down to sea levels. So, snow, a thing of the past. Maybe we shouldn't just pay attention to the spotlight that goes on in the media, because it appears to me that whenever there's a hot day, like there were a few hot days this summer, they'll put it onto the front pages of the newspaper. Today, 38 degrees in England, the hottest summer ever, the hottest year ever, and whatever else. But whenever there seems to be an exceptional cold weather phenomena like there has been now in the southern hemisphere, it won't even get looked at. Now, as a person that's trying to stay neutral on this issue, how should I feel about that? If they don't talk about freak cold weather, out of season, out of place events, how does that make me feel? Well, is there a cover-up going on? And talking about cover-ups, I read in an article from the Daily Mail newspaper in England that over the last 15 years, there's been an attempted cover-up by paid scientists that are trying to prove global warming, to cover up the fact that global temperatures have actually levelled off for the last 15 years and actually haven't gone up and up and up like what was predicted a good few years ago by the IPCC. So we have to be very careful at how we look at things. Whenever there's a hot day, it'll be all over the front pages. Whenever there's a really freaky cold weather event that shouldn't really be happening, like in Australia and New Zealand now, having snow down to sea levels during their spring, they won't even pay attention to it. It will just get swept under the carpet, because maybe, Al Gore, it's an inconvenient truth. So let's pay attention. I don't like being lied to. I don't want people to think, oh, here he goes again, Brendan, on another rant. We just have to be sceptical about what the media cover and what the media don't cover. That's all I'm trying to say. Snow in Australia during the spring, blanketing the coastlines. Wow. Snow should have been a thing of the past. And meanwhile, the ice amounts in Greenland are much higher than what they have been for many years. And if you want to find out more information about those levels of ice that are going on up there, I would really recommend you going to one of my subscriptions that I'm subscribed to, David Dubine of Adapt 2030. He has graphs that prove that the ice levels over Greenland now are increasing, and we have nothing to worry about with Arctic sea ice extent. Please go and check his channel out, Adapt 2030 it's called. And meanwhile, the progress of snow cover from eastern Russia, gradually progressing westwards, is doing very healthily indeed. So it'll be interesting to see within the next couple of weeks, will we get snow here in Finland? Our first snow in October maybe. Let's see. It could be possible. Anyway, pay attention. Don't just look at the spotlight in the media. The spotlight will just shine upon the things they want people to believe in or not. All I'm saying is please remember what we were told not just 5 years ago, but 10 years ago and 15 years ago. Did any of those predictions come true? Because it's because of those predictions that these people made why carbon tax and everything else came into play. It's also the reason why many people moved away from the coast of America, because Al Gore predicted that the whole coastline of Western America would be underwater by now. But ironically, he bought a house by the coast. I'll stop the rant there because now it's turning into a rant. But anyway, I'm going to make a video within the next week or two. I'm going to be planting garlic at our allotment. We've got the beds ready as well. I'm going to talk about that before our winter comes. We're going to get the garlics in before the snow comes. And then in the spring, we'll get some lovely garlic. Anyway, have a great day. Bye for now.